Alright, so after the largemouth, I think that's a perfect time to turn around. So I'm going to head back over top of this killer log jam and fish just some of the hot spots on the way back to the car and then switch to a different stream. So to go upstream, I'm going to fish my old traditional plastic worm, but I'm going to do it in a different way than I ever have for red eyes, just because it is so low and so clear and the current is so slow that I'm actually going to fish it weightless and wacky style, and we'll see if I can catch red eye bass in wacky style going back upstream. And if the wacky style, if I keep getting too many sunfish or whatever, you know, taking my worms off the hook, then I'll just still fish it weightless, but I'll fish it regular Texas rig. There he is. This might very well be the very first warrior bass ever caught on a wacky-rigged plastic worm in the history of fishing for bass. I figured it'd probably work. I'm not a big wacky worm user, to be totally transparent and honest. But I have seen them work. Obviously, everyone else uses them. But I just figured, you know, one of the advantages of fishing downstream with a different lure is you get to kind of see how the fish are acting, how the fish are setting up, and what the habitat's like. And based on the fact that the fish I saw, I saw a lot of fish that were spooky, that would come over and look at the spinnerbait or nip at it and not commit all the way. And I just figured, well, then, you know, something real subtle is probably the way to go. And I just had a wild hair to try the wacky rig, and I'm sure this would have worked with just a regular Texas rig. But the weightless thing is something I do more than I think a lot of people do. You know, you have to use light tackle, but given how low it was and how clear the water was, and the fact that the flow is really, really small, especially in the places the fish are at, I thought the weightless might work really well, and so far so good. But yeah, what a pretty little guy. Notice that while I've been talking, the blotches have faded out on this guy. First fish today where, you know, the blotches are still there kind of faintly, but you can see that they're largely gone. You still have the yellow in the anal fin, the yellow in the soft dorsal, and the yellow tail with the white tipped fins. And you have that nice blue crescent and no tooth patch. So I still can identify them, no problem. But yep, low clear water. Sometimes a weightless plastic worm is the way to go.